Yo, so check me out. Alright, what's good with y'all, man? Today we got another video for y'all. We got another one. So today we finna listen to as y'all can tell by now, my favorite speaker, one of my favorite speakers in the world. Because bro, if you love Jordan Peterson, bro, I love, that's just me, bro. I love to think, I love to learn about, not as necessarily about, I don't know, I just love the things he talk about. And I love the insight he gives. That's just the type of guy I am. So we got a Jordan Peterson reaction today. The difference between winners and losers. What's the difference between a winner and a loser? What's the difference between somebody that go home with the trophy and somebody that go home sad and crying? I think it's about the mindset, basically. So that's all it come down to, is the mindset. Like I said in the last video, bro, y'all go check out that last video I just did with Joe Rogan, the mindset of winners. If you got the right mindset, can't nobody stop you. If you got healthy mental fortitude, you are unstoppable in any arena, anything you want to do. You want to be a doctor? Want to be an engineer? Check. You want to be a preacher? Anything. A wrestler, a football player, a basketball player. If you got the mental fortitude, mental capacity to handle that and to manage those tasks that's presented before you, you're gonna be unstoppable. So, let's get into it, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Let's go.
So the best predictor for entrepreneurial success, first is IQ. But second is trait openness, which is the creativity dimension. So entrepreneurial types tend to be very high in trait openness. And so that sets them with the artists and also with the political liberals, because the best predictor of political liberalism is trait openness. So the managers and administrative types, they tend to be conservative, and the entrepreneurial and creative types tend to be liberal. And so if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to be a lateral thinker. And so you'll be the sort of person, if you hear an idea, that will trigger off a whole bunch of other ideas.
So entrepreneurs are basically, like you said, artists, creators. They see something in their head and they express it, either through a business, either through people. That's why they say they see an idea or think of idea, or they see something and they start thinking of all these little ideas, all the details, all the intricacies, all the ins and outs of it. But the workers, they don't do that, because they're not the boss. So they're not the entrepreneur. They don't got that type of mental fortitude. You get what I'm saying? It's dope.
Ideas. And you'll be motivated primarily by interest in pursuing your ideas. But your downfall is likely to be organizational administrative ability. So it's often useful for entrepreneurial types to pair themselves with managerial and administrative type.
If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you almost have the opposite profile as a soldier. You're very high in openness and you're lower in conscientiousness, or at least conscientiousness is irrelevant. And the reason for that seems to be that, like, if you're an orderly person and you like to follow procedures and rules, it's kind of hard for you to start a company, because when you first start a company or engage in any other creative process, because entrepreneurs turn out to be the same as artists.
Well, I just say,
you kind of have to, you're not operating within a rule-governed structure. In fact, there may be many times where you have to break a small rule to move properly at a higher level of analysis. There's no algorithmic way of generating a new company, right? Obviously. And so it's people who are very high in openness who happen to be good entrepreneurs. And so this is something I thought was extraordinarily cool, because we'd also already known what predicts managerial, administrative, and academic ability. And IQ is crucial for any complex job, so we'll just leave that behind. But what predicts academic ability, for example, at the University of Toronto, is intelligence, obviously, but also conscientiousness. The correlation between creativity and grades at the U of T is zero. Turns out to be conscientiousness that's the excellent predictor of graduate student performance. That's the best predictor for law. It's the best predictor for managerial positions. It's the best predictor for administrative positions. Anything that has a structure of rules that needs to be applied, conscientiousness is a great predictor. So, but it's not good for predicting artistic ability or entrepreneurial.
Because artists can't go by the rules. That's what make them so. That's what make artists so great. Well, that's what make artists, entrepreneurs, anybody that create things. That's what make them so great, because they can't follow the rules. They're not trying to follow the rules. Everything coming off the dome. Everything is original and authentic. So that's why I feel like it's like that. Or they think like that.
Ability. And that's also really important, because one of the things, this is partly why bureaucracies stultify, right? Because what happens is as they develop, they get chock full of conscientious people, with a few psychopaths thrown in there just for good measure. They get chock full of conscientious people busily zooming efficiently down a single track, and then all of a sudden the landscape shifts and they're going very, very efficiently in exactly the wrong direction, and then the whole bloody thing falls apart. So you need to have some creative wingnuts in your organization to come up with completely absurd ideas that might just on the off chance be true. And so creativity is strange in that manner too, because it's a high risk, high return game. You're a lot safer in your life to find a functioning entity and to operate as a cog within it, as long as the entity keeps functioning. Because if you're creative and you go off on tangents all the time, there's some probability that one of those tangents is going to be exactly what is needed at the time, and you're going to become hyper successful as a consequence. But there's much more probability that even though some of your ideas might be highly valuable, the probability that this is the right time and place for them is extraordinarily low. So to produce a successful creative product, for example, in the marketplace, you need a ridiculous combination of creativity so that you keep generating ideas, and then a network around you of people who have skills that you don't, and then the production of a product, let's say, whatever that happens to be, that's actually in demand by the marketplace at exactly that moment, and that someone else hasn't already done better. So
that's interesting. What y'all think about these, bro? But that's one key I heard before. If you want to be successful, place yourself around people that have abilities and attributes that you don't. I like it.
the sensible thing to tell anybody who wants to be creative is, that's stupid. You shouldn't do it. It's your probability of success is so low that it's better just to do something sensible. But the problem with that is that creative people can't do that because they're creative. And if they
sensible is boring. Sensible is safe. I mean, with me, as the type of person I am, I don't like to be. If I gotta be safe, if I were to choose safety or taking a risk to better my life, I'm finna take that risk, bro. I'm taking that risk. I'd rather not be safe than live in misery I'd rather not be safe and live comfortably, or live, I guess, comfortably, than taking that risk on what I really want to do and live uncomfortably because of the fear of the future, the unpredictability, all that. I'd rather take that risk. I'm taking that risk, bro. Safety, your comfort zone is your killer, bro. Your comfort zone is a killer. I'm telling y'all right now. Your comfort zone, bro, is where you're going to die. Like, if you stay there, is where you're going to die. Nobody great has ever been great staying in their comfort zone. Nobody, not one person on this earth. So you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will die at. That's where you will live at, and that's where you'll die at. And I had to learn that last year. It's a big lesson I had to learn last year. Even at the beginning of this year, I had to learn that. I'm still trying to progressively step out my comfort zone. Do things that I'm not comfortable doing. Because that's how you stretch, that's how you expand, that's how you grow, that's how you build. And the more you, that's why somebody can speak in front of millions of people and another person can't. That person stretched out their comfort zone so much that they're comfortable or they're more comfortable than the person that can't do it in their college classroom, because they stretched it so much, time and time again, just stretching it. It's going. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it hurts. Yes, sometimes it's awkward. Yes, sometimes it's what's that word I'm looking for? It's what's that word I'm looking for? I forgot the word. I can't think of it. But it's that. So basically, the point I'm trying to make is get out your comfort zone. Don't stay in your comfort zone. Do not stay there. It's comfortable, but it's not good for you. Like candy. Like laying in the bed all day. It's comfortable. Yeah. It feels good at the moment, but it's not good for you.
Down their creativity, it's like an extrovert who's gone to live in in an isolated cell. A creative person who isn't being creative, they just wither and die. So they're stuck with it. So, but it is a high risk, high return strategy. I think I mentioned this to you before. If you write a book, which is virtually impossible, and then get a publisher, which is virtually impossible, you probably have a rejection rate of 99%. So then if you do manage to publish the book with a reasonable publisher, which you won't because it's impossible, then you get 8% royalties. That's it. So 92% of your labor goes to the sales, marketing, and distribution end of things. And so it's very, very difficult to generate capital as an entrepreneur. And there's innumerable impediments. One of the things that people do, and this is something for those of you who might be entrepreneurially minded, here's another thing that you have to understand, is that you can't really create a product and then launch it. Because first of all, you don't know how to do that. You might know how to create the product, but you do not know how to market or sell it. You don't know how to advertise it. You don't know how to communicate about it. You don't know how to ship it. Like, there's all sorts of things you just don't know. But worse is you don't know if people will use it. And so what companies do that roll out new products on a relatively continual basis do is they don't develop the product and then go sell it. They continually communicate with their customers about what product the customer is willing to buy next, and then they develop that. And so you have to have your market identified, and then you have to be in continual communication with the market while you develop the product. It's not, I build a better mousetrap and the world comes, marching to my door. That isn't how it works. Is that you got to find out if someone wants to buy your stupid thing. And then the next thing is that even if you have a great thing, you're going to go talk to people and they have 50 great things that they might buy. And they're all great, but they're not going to buy all 50. They might buy one, maybe, and
hey, there's some real good entrepreneur advice right here. All of my entrepreneurs, y'all lock in. Y'all write some notes, bro. That's some good advice for y'all right here. I didn't even know this video was gonna bring this, but
maybe they'll buy it this week, but probably they'll buy it in 6 months. And they're not going to buy any of them, no matter how great, unless they're on fire and you're selling water. Because they're so busy already, right? They're so overwhelmed and preoccupied by their jobs that if you come in and you say, well, here, this is going to increase your efficiency by 20%, and here's the 3 weeks you'd have to spend doing that, and then the payoff would come in the next years, they'll say, yeah, well, I'll do that as soon as I have time. And as soon as I have time is never. So if they're on fire and you have water, you can sell it to them. But that's all, because otherwise it's a no-go. So those are all things that are worthwhile knowing, because they're very hard to learn. Because I know that artistic types are also entrepreneurial types. They're the same personality types. And so it's very much worthwhile to make an economic and practical case for this sort of thing. You study literature and the humanities so that you can familiarize yourself with the wisdom of our civilization. Man, you should do that, because people have been working on this thing for a long time and it's rich beyond comparison. So why wouldn't you do that? And you teach yourself to read, and you teach yourself to speak, and you teach yourself to think, and you teach yourself to communicate. And I can tell you, if you can read and think and communicate, you are absolutely...
And all you can, get wisdom. And all you can, whatever you do, get wisdom. Wisdom, I think that's one of a virtue that's super slept on these days. And I'm definitely trying to get as much wisdom as possible, but that's why I like listening to Jordan Peterson. And then that's why I'm a Christian as well. And all you can, and all you're doing, get wisdom.
100% unstoppable
There's absolutely no downside to it.
What I just tell y'all? What I just tell y'all? It's all up here. This where your problems at. This where the lack at. This where your hiccups at. Your frustrations. You holding yourself back, bro. And I gotta keep reminding myself that too. You holding yourself back from your biggest dream. It's you. It's you. It's all you. It's not them. It's you. Take responsibility. Take accountability. And get on it. But I thank y'all for tuning in, man. I thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope y'all like these videos. Y'all comment down below if y'all like these videos. What kind of videos y'all want me to do. And we're gonna get to it. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. So y'all be cool. Y'all stay up. Y'all keep y'all head up. Keep going. See y'all in the next one, bro. Peace.